Hey everyone, Dominic here, bringing you another Ravening Report. This time we've got Saurian Ancients versus Ogre Khans. This is back to the standard 4,500 point game here. The deployment type is going to be counter thrust with King of the Hill as the secondary objective. Let's get started. Quick look at my deployment here. I've got a Taurosaur with an Engine of the Ancients. I have 7 Raptor Riders, full command with the Totem of Mixotl. I've got a unit of Saurian Warriors. They've got Spears, full command, and Banner of Discipline. They're also Jaguar Warriors. I have a unit of 3 Pterodon Sentries with shields and fire bolas. I've got my General, who's Quadalord, Symbiosis, Sphere of Shielding, Lore of Div, and I believe he also has the Obsidian Rock. This unit of Saurian Warriors is exactly like the other one. I've got a Saurian Warlord on an Alpha Connoisseur with a Halberd. And over here, I also have 16 Skink Braves. They've got a Banner and a Musician with the Tree Frog Banner, I think is what it's called. And lastly, a Stygiosaur with the Mystic Traveler upgrade. Now I do have some scouts out here, just because of the placement. I didn't get a good spot to put them in his backfield or anywhere that I wanted them, so I ended up just putting them in my own deployment, but I have 6 chameleons up there. Here's a quick look. He has some trappers who have trapped this piece of terrain here, this little forest. He's got another set of trappers that were in this one. They trapped this one. And this piece of terrain is actually part of the objective as well. He chose this forest, which wasn't fully within his deployment zone. And I chose this hill up here. So, for his army, he's got some Tusker Cav. He's got a Rock. Back here, he's got a Stratopult. Those are the trappers, one of the set of trappers. This unit is Tribesman with his General and BSB in there. And I know they've got the Iron Fists, but I think they also have the banner that gives them Swift Stride. I forget what it's called. But next to that, he's got a unit of Bruisers, full command. I don't think they've got anything fancy. In that unit, he's got his Wizard Master, Master of Shamanism. And he's got the Liger's Tongue. And over here, he's got another Rock with those trappers. So, after a little while, the Ogres decided to drop and go for first turn. So, that's already starting to move up here, actually, a little bit, I think. So that's all he kind of does. He pushes forward, and right off the start, I actually wasn't really too happy with part of my deployment here. I kind of screwed this area up. Elsewhere I was okay, but over here I wasn't too happy because I kind of trapped myself a little bit more than I wanted to. But either way, he moves up like so, getting a good surround and getting on the hill as well for extra reroll on the charge. He goes into magic. He tries to do Swarm of Insects on the chameleons, and I dispel that. But he gets a Totemic Summons and brings it on within 10 inches there into my backfield, and that's going to be quite annoying to me here. It does some shooting, knocks off a wound on the Pterodons, and the other guys try and knock a wound off on the Taurosaur, but it fails. So that's just a quick overview of the table as we go into turn 1 for Saurian Ancients. So I actually thought about this for a long time. Like I mentioned, I didn't like my positioning here, and with this guy coming into play now, I decided the best thing to do was just to reform on the spot and kind of retreat for now. You know, tactical retreat, we'll call it. But yeah, I pushed back. Here, these guys more or less stayed exactly where they were. I did shift just a little bit forward on my front. I didn't want to give them an easy charge up there. The other Saurian Warriors push up forward. And I also moved the Quaddle behind the Alpha Carnosaur so that this guy can't get around him in any kind of way and break him in combat. Like I said, over here, I pushed up because I plan on doing quite a bit of damage to this guy so that I can receive a charge. He will do impact hits, but I think I can do quite a bit of damage and kill him in the first turn. So get in within range here to do the blow darts and get in range of javelins to throw at the trappers. The pterodons flew over top over here and did cause 2 wounds to the unit. The other 2, I forgot to mention, he actually miscast turn 1, took two wounds on, I think it was 666s that he rolled, so yeah, either way, they're facing back here, they're going to do some shooting as well. We go to magic. We try and do Awaken the Beast over here, and he decided to stop that. I think I went for +1 strength and armor pen. Fate's Judgment, yeah, the Fate's Judgment here. Only caused a single wound to this guy, but at least it's a start. And then we do some shooting. Knock off another wound over here to this unit. Kill off a couple of the trappers. And I think I racked up 3 wounds actually on this guy. 3 or 4 totally this turn. Did a shot, killed a trapper over here. And that's all we did. That's the table as we go into turn 2, starting with Ogre Khans. So over here, he's actually going to declare a charge with the Bruisers. And this one I decided to flee. So I flee through there. I go through the building. Everybody passes their panic. And I think I lost only a single dude actually going through the impassable, which was pretty surprising. He redirected that charge, I think, and failed down the hill. But other than that, he was thinking about this one and decided not to go for that charge in the end. So there's a redirect. Oh no, maybe he did. I think I put this down and took a picture, and he decided not to. But either way, this fails, and this guy just kind of stumbles forward like that. He must have declared that charge. Over here, the random mover took off like a rocket. I think he rolled like a 16 or a 17 and runs into the fleeing Saurians, which is unfortunate, but you know, it happens. And he continues to press over here. I'm still not liking my position. He does have this chaff that's in the way, and these are fairly long charges for that Stagger, that Taurosaur. So he goes to Magic Phase, and he tries to do, I think it was Swarm of Insects over here. I stop it, and besides that, he gets the Hereditary spell. I think he got off on this unit, on the Rock. But he goes to shooting, tries to take a shot here at the Saurian Warrior block in the center, and misfires, can't shoot this turn or next. And that's pretty much it. So that's how things are looking, as we're going to go turn 2 for Saurian Warriors. So I declare a charge from the Alpha into these Trappers. He decides to hold after passing his Leadership 10 on, I think he's got an 18-inch range of Leadership 10 on his General. So yeah, he passes that check and sticks around. And that was it for charges, actually. So I move in like that. I did line it up so that he's going to go past, was what I wanted to do here. Because I think I'm just going to try and shoot this guy and kill him and get past anyway. So we go to Magic. We do Fate's Judgment right here. I think I actually got this off and still only did 1 wound. I think this guy's up to his last wound now. And in shooting, we managed to do the last wounds with the chameleons here. Combat, that Alpha does exactly what he's supposed to do. I mean, not like that's a hard target, but kills him, overruns, gets out of arc of sight. And yeah, that's how things are looking as we're going to start turn 3 for Ogre Khans. He didn't have any charges, and he wanted to try and move over here to get into shooting range, so he's actually facing this direction. But again, he rolled really high with this guy and just ended up blowing right past where he wanted to end up. and actually getting out of arc to be able to shoot as well. So other than that, he continues to just put pressure on that Taurosaur, and he's also starting to push me back to a point where I won't be able to support my Saurians in the center there. So these guys turn to face what's over here, and the Stratopult moves around. Now, this one's kind of hard to see, but he does reform these guys and move them kind of sideways. He is completely behind this hill, though, so I'm pretty safe on this side. He's safe on this side. And, yeah, he's just hanging out there. Magic, he brings on another totem over here to put pressure on my Quaddle. And he does awaken the beast for, I think it was +1 strength and armor pen on these guys. Either way, I let this go off. It didn't really matter to me. And then he puts the dangerous terrain spell. I forget what that one's called. I did try and stop it, but it goes off either way. And that's it for Magic. Shooting, he doesn't have anything really, and there's no combat. So that's what things are looking like. So we're gonna go turn 3 for Saurian Ancients. This one he didn't actually see. It's a pretty makeable charge. We're only 11 inches away, closest to closest, and I can go this way and wheel 90 and just clip him here. So I declare that charge. He has to hold. They make it in, and with that, I decide to come up and put some pressure. Give him the choice to either go into the Taurosaur, in which case maybe I hold and live, or he can go into here and then I can get a rear charge on him. So I figured that was my turn finally to move forward. Despite having the dangerous terrain 2s on me, I still go over, drop the rocks, lose a guy, and pass my panic. So I'm sitting there, cause a couple more wounds from the dropping rocks. Pretty much anything else I did. These guys move up, and we corner the one totem that is closest to the Quaddle, and I completely ignore his new summoned one. One thing I did over here, I think I did it. I'm pretty sure. I had the thought in my head anyway to make sure I was just slightly further than 10 inches away, because I've had it happen before where a guy will raise a totem and chaff up one of my supporting units here. So I did kind of make sure that I was far enough away from the table edge that he shouldn't be able to get me there. The Alpha parks himself right in front of the Shaman, who's on this corner, on those bruisers, and I'm gonna see what happens with this unit. So we go to Magic. We do Know Thy Enemy on the Saurians, and we also get Awaken the Beast for +1 Resilience on the Alpha. I think that'll help out quite a bit. We do Shooting, kill off this totem here, and the oh yeah, I chose the Engine of the Ancients to do damage, causes 2 wounds to the Tuskers as well. We go into combat. I do 3 wounds, and he does 4 back to me, which is a pretty big whiff, actually. He does stick around, though. He's got that general with leadership 10 and rerolls right there, so he sticks around, and we're looking like that. I do reform, I think, or I thought about reforming to ranks, and then I decided that he was probably going to go for the flank charge here, and I wanted as few bodies on the flank as possible, just that he wasn't getting more impact hits. So I should have actually, hindsight 2020, I probably should have just moved. Yeah, no, I wouldn't have wanted any more because he's 50 wide. I was thinking maybe to move even this guy back, but that didn't really make any difference. So that's what the table looks like, because we're going to go turn 4 for Ogre Khans. So, like I said, he did go for the flank charge here on the Saurians, and he decides, after a bunch of debating, to go for it here. They both make it in, of course, and we go to Magic, I believe. Now in Magic, he does get his hereditary spell off on this unit, as well as he gets I forget which shamanism spell it was. Oh, the -1 to hit on me. That's what it was. Yeah, so I'm all kinds of down here. But his guy is still there with a shamanism spell cast, so he's got scarification. These guys in the movement had turned around again because this board wasn't going as good as it thought it was. And these guys are just popping out to be a nuisance and try and shoot. It doesn't do anything. Like I said, magic, Children of Umi, and the minus to hit. Kind of behind the pictures here. The one totem came up and shot two of the skinks off in the shooting phase, and that was pretty much it. We go to combat. So in this one, I do kill the Rocco Rock, surprisingly. He kills all but my unit champ out of this unit, and he elects to hold to restrain his pursuit and take the charge on the front rather than taking a charge on the rear over here. So I do get away. This guy does have guiding light on him, so the chances of rallying, not bad. We fight this one, and this was really surprising. I declared a challenge. He decided to refuse, so his shaman's not going to take part. Now, I was down one attack on the guy from Liger's Tongue, and I still put 9 wounds on that bruiser unit. He only does 2 back to me, and he breaks, and I decided not to pursue because now I'm going to go help out these guys over here. And yeah, he didn't even run that far either, but I've got guys here that can just chase this fleeing unit off in my turn, and it's looking pretty good for Saurians here. So, turn 4, like I said, we're going to charge the flank of the Tuskers. Make it in. We're going to charge the front of the Tuskers. He's going to make it in. The Pterodons are going to charge these fleeing bruisers with the shaman. They're going to flee, and we're going to catch them. And the Stygiosaur over here is actually going to declare a charge against the Stratopole. And he makes it in, of course. So, other than that, for moving, we kind of move just to push towards the center, try and make it towards the secondary objective. I'm pretty far, and he does have a lot of points still here. And we also go to kill this last totem here. And these other few scraplings down here. We go into magic. We do Fate's Judgment and kill off that totem just to make sure. And we try to do Savage Fury up here. He does stop this one. But we get Portent of Doom off on this unit. So this is another question that I have. If anybody knows the right answer, I'm pretty sure because he's got the 2 guys in there plus the unit, he's down 3 as long as the characters are in there. I assume that as soon as the characters leave, this unit is only -1, and it'll go back up if characters join again. I think that's how that spell is intended to work, but if anybody knows that if I cast it on it and there was 2 characters at the time of casting, that he's -3 forever, that's huge. Yeah, let me know. Over here, we do shooting, and he flees. He didn't actually flee off the table, but we did the rally for his turn as well, and he just continued fleeing, so yeah, he's still there. We go to combat, and we kill all except for, I think, 1 wound on this unit, and actually we may have just killed him outright, but either way, the Alpha Carnosaur overruns, takes another dangerous terrain for his troubles, and the Taurosaur just kind of pivots on the spot to face towards the last remaining unit. Over here, I did, I think, 3 wounds. He did a wound back to me. He does stick, though. He passed his leadership check and is going to stay there. Oh, sorry, in my turn, too, the last remaining unit champion on the hill did rally. And now he's going to charge him with his general, and I'm going to flee again in my magic phase. As you see, I did put Guiding Light on this guy when I cast Fate's Judgment, so maybe he can rally again. We're going to try it. Yeah, so there's that flee. I flee right in front of my own unit, which is unfortunate, which is going to prevent me from getting to that secondary. So, these guys just move back here to protect their secondary objective. You know, it's a lot of points, and Like I said, if I can't get there, he can at least stop that from happening. I did see something at this point here that I don't think he saw right away, but we'll get to that. He's got no magic, no shooting. He goes straight to combat. I do kill this thing, but I suffer another wound this time, and we're staying right there. So, yeah, that's kind of how things are looking, as we're going to go to turn 5 for Saurian Ancients. So this is the one that I saw. If I did manage to kill that Scratapult, I'm going to charge his flank. He does hold, of course. And we also declare a charge here, needing a 10 on the dice, and he makes it in. So, other moves, this guy just moves up here just to look at both units and get out of front arc of this unit as well. And yeah, we go to magic. Actually, there was another thing before I forget. That last Saurian warrior did rally and continues to just be a pain in my ass kind of thing. But we go to magic. We try and do... We did Savage Fury. We tried to do Awaken the Beast on him as well, but that got stopped. But he does have Savage Fury. And we get Scrying off over here, which actually isn't going to matter too much for how this guy's loaded out. I'm not overly familiar with Ogre Khans and all their gear, but he did let me know that it wasn't really going to make a difference. I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'll cast it anyway. So, in combat, we do 6 wounds. He does another wound to me. He did break, though, because he can't be steadfast in a forest. So that was the one thing that I saw that I think he forgot about here, moving that unit back. So we didn't catch him, though, and it's going to be his turn 6 coming up. In this combat, I put, I think, 3 wounds on that guy, and he put 3 back on me. So I win by a charge and a flank, but he does stick around. And yeah, that's how the table looks, as we're going to go turn 6 for Ogre Khans. Right here, these guys rally, turn to face for round 2, and in combat, we do manage to put the last 2 wounds on that Great Khan, which is pretty surprising, actually. I didn't expect that to happen, and he didn't do any damage back to me. We kind of decided at this point the game is probably over, but because I can't get the secondary, the most I can get is 17 points, I decided to reform this spot, go for that turn 6 charge. And with both dinosaurs, of course, they both make it in. And yeah, we fight out that combat. Sorry, we do some magic. We get Know Thy Enemy in the bubble, I believe, it casted here. And it goes off. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Kill off a couple more dudes. I suffer a couple more wounds. Didn't kill either of the dinosaurs, which was also pretty surprising to me. And he breaks and flees, and we catch him. So, that was the last picture of the game. It's going to end up in a 17-3 victory for the Saurian Ancients. Really fun game. I'm actually quite surprised it came out to be that score. Right from turn 1, I was actually feeling like I was in a bad position, but somehow managed to just claw that back. So, yeah, really fun game. And I got some ideas for slight adjustments to the list. I did actually forget at the end of this one, as I was driving home. I realized I didn't even put a model on the table, but it would have come in handy to help protect the quaddle, and that kind of led to some other stuff you'll maybe see in the next game when I bring that out. So, hope you guys enjoy these battles, and stay tuned for the next one.